Hey everyone, I'm Errol Saturn, and welcome to my review of my most anticipated movie out of the entire year, which is James Gunn's first movie in the newly established DC Universe, Superman. James Gunn is one of my personal favorite directors working today, especially after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was my favorite movie of 2023. The trailers for this new version of Superman never failed to make me teary-eyed in some way, and after waiting the pretty much entire time since I've started this channel in the first place to eventually see this final movie, does it live up to the hype? Well, no. I am about to say something that is probably something I don't even have to say in the first place, since pretty much every other review for this movie has been saying the exact same thing. But screw it, I'm gonna say it anyway. David Corenswet is absolutely perfect as a modern interpretation of Superman. His mannerisms are perfect and perfectly resemble the Christopher Reeves portrayal as the character perfectly without it just feeling like a cheap copy of that iconic portrayal, and James Gunn just understands the way Superman works. Filled with positivity for the human race and morals that require him to try and help everyone, which was honestly really refreshing to see in a modern superhero movie. Rachel Brosnahan was personally my favorite performance out of the bunch. She has great chemistry with David, and I love this Lois and Clark relationship a lot. And I loved how she was given a major focus in the plot that I felt fit her character very well, and it didn't focus on her being the damsel in distress compared to the last live-action interpretation of Lois we have seen. And Nicholas Hoult continues to be one of my favorite actors working today, with a really fun portrayal of Lex Luthor. I love how this version of Lex is just a petty and jealous prick, and everything in his life revolves around taking Superman down. And I hope we get to see more of this dynamic in the future. In terms of the supporting cast, Mr. Terrific was my favorite out of the Justice Gang. Metamorpho was really fun and gave me heavy Drax vibes. Jimmy Olsen was a fun addition and I liked the minor focus on him. And Hawkgirl, while I like her actress and I think her powers are really cool, was pretty much a nothing character that I do still really want to see more of. I love the way this movie looks. I have seen both criticism and praise for the fact that this looks and feels like a Saturday morning cartoon, and me personally, I firmly believe that this is one of the movie's greatest strengths. The heavy use of vibrant colors, the way the flying scenes looked, the kind of cheesy looking lighting, the excellent and smart use of slow-mo, all give the confident vibe that this is a comic book movie through and through, and it is not afraid to show that off. The camera work is also stellar. James Gunn uses the camera to its fullest potential, shooting shots from in front of Superman while he's flying, right above the action, really tight close-ups and full exhilarating camera movements during the action scenes that felt huge and triumphant on that big-ass screen. This is a small point, but if you have watched any of my past movie reviews here, you will know that I absolutely adore practical effects. And for a huge modern summer blockbuster, this movie has great uses of practical effects. Seeing the little behind-the-scenes video they released for Superman Day this year, the costumes look amazing, and it shows that using real suits works way better for a movie like this. Metamorpho has such an insane level of detail in his look that you could easily imagine that it's fully CG, and seeing that the Fortress of Solitude robots are fully real is a level of insane detail and craftsmanship that even if I didn't like this movie at all, I would still find this level of work astounding. Compared to last week's Jurassic World Rebirth and how much it absolutely horribly spammed the Jurassic Park theme any chance it got, this movie, however, is a great example on how to use the original theme a lot, but in scenes that absolutely feel appropriate. And while I don't think this score is as good as the Guardians 3 score from John Murphy, I still think it fits this kind of punk rock vibe really well, and using Yvette Young, one of the best math rock guitarists working today, in the score is also a huge plus as well. And like I mentioned in the camera work section, the action scenes in this movie are just badass and exhilarating, and that absolutely triumphant score really helps that. The tone of this movie, much like a lot of James Gunn projects in the past, does feel kind of all over the place, but it does weirdly also fit as well. There's great but not cry-worthy emotional moments like any of the emotional moments in the Guardians franchise, humorous moments that we will talk about in a second, and signature weird and freaky moments that I love how James Gunn sneaks into literally any project he makes. My favorite part of the tone is the overall tone of this new DC universe. It feels so zany and fun, and I can't wait to see more of it in future movies. The pacing of this movie moves at an absolute breakneck pace. It picks up right from the action and pretty much doesn't truly slow down until the very end. Even conversation scenes feel fast-paced. And I honestly kind of wish this movie was a little longer so certain moments could breathe just a little bit more. The writing of this movie is pretty strong. Again, James Gunn just understands how Superman as a character works, and my only other real complaint with this movie is that I wish certain characters like Hawkgirl or Guy Gardner got a little more writing and lines to them. Some of these characters just feel either one-note and uninteresting or completely underutilized, and I think this movie relies a little too much on exposition during certain scenes when it really didn't have to at all. The humor is classic James Gunn humor, but compared to some, I don't dislike that. There were some jokes that really didn't land for me, one specifically about a garage door, but I think the humor fits pretty well overall in this story. My final thoughts, I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. It's got some minor problems, but in no way does that affect how much fun I had watching this movie. This is pure summer blockbuster fun with a universal message about being kind, which I think everyone needs to hear sometimes. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Go out and check this awesome movie out for yourself, and I hope you absolutely enjoy it. And I will see you all in the next one.